I'm Eric Russell. I am out and about with the cast of Ordinary Days with the Full Circle Theater Project, which is being done here at Spark Theater. Good evening.
Hi!
Woo! I love this. Let me just tell you how much I love this. I mean, stuff is flying off the stage, I'm laughing, I'm crying. You made me cry. Darn you! But before doing anything else, I want to know who you are and who you play in the show and how you're involved. So I'm going to start right here. Who are you?
I am Tyler Meacham.
Oh, good.
I play Deb.
I'm Robin Harris, and I play Claire.
I'm Chris Hester, and I play Jason.
I'm Gracie. I'm the artist. Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's it, we haven't gotten it. We're going across the front. You were paying attention. You're next.
You're right. Sorry. I'm Gracie. I'm the artistic director of Full Circle Theater Project, and I also directed Ordinary Days.
I'm Annie, and I'm the financial director of Full Circle Theater Project.
I'm Andrew Scott, and I'm the executive director of Full Circle Theater Project.
I'm Jeff Morgan, and I play the character of Warren in the show.
My name's Ben Miller. I'm the music director for Ordinary Days, and I also accompanied the show from the piano.
So, I had never heard about this show until Chris hit me up and I was going, this just sounds fantastic. But I went online to do some research and I could only find like a little blurb. So, tell me more about this show. How did you find it and bring it to this little theater company that you guys have started?
Yeah, I wrote this in my director's note, but I was actually on YouTube a few years back, 4 years ago, and I heard the song I'll Be Here that Claire sings in Act 2, and I instantly fell in love with the song. I didn't know it was part of a musical, so I researched it a little bit, which, yeah, was very hard to find, but I bought the cast album, and I listened to it. I'd never seen it, but I knew that it would be good for the space, and good for a full circle, and easy to do, but at the same time, important and relevant, and good for Richmond.
I really like you guys as a cast. Watching this, I was going, these people are everybody that we know. So I'm going, I know someone like your character, I know someone like your character, I know someone like your character. I know a lot of people like your character. Tell you. But that's what I loved about it.
Yeah.
But I want you to tell us more about who your characters are, because they've all come to New York City. They've left where they were because they think I don't fit in here. I want to go to this big city where everything's happening, and then they figure out that it's not really going the way they planned.
Yeah, I'll start. I mean, I think for my character, Jason, I imagine he is about 35 or so. The way I've interpreted, he's a guy who's come from another place, potentially the South, for a job opportunity. He's an architect. He wouldn't necessarily know that, except she references your drafting table fits perfectly in the corner. And I think he's realized, whoa, this city is big and loud and crazy, and how in the world am I ever going to stay here? And then he meets Claire and realizes, oh, I'm in love with her, and that's enough to keep me here. And so I think that that's a little background on the Jason character. And so over the course of the show, you get that feeling. They decide to move in, but you can tell there's some underlying tension or confusion about their relationship. What do you think?
I agree. I think that Claire is someone who, she grew up in the area, has been in the area for a really, really long time, and she has a history. She has a past, and her issue is that she is trying very hard to make the past, and she's having trouble doing that and moving forward.
Because there's a moment in the show when she's going through all of her stuff, like, how do I let go? How do I let go?
Yeah.
Which is setting us up for something else. Spoiler! In Act 2, sharing that now. But we won't tell you what it is.
Awesome.
But we know it's a major piece, and we understand why she can't let go of things and why she's having trouble making these commitments and stuff.
Right.
Then we get to Deb.
Deb. Yeah, Deb is at a whole different level. I think Deb is interesting because she's the one character that has like her life story in a song. She comes right out and she's like, okay, so here's where I started and here's where I am now. She's a graduate student working towards writing her thesis, and I think she's a very type A kind of person, and I think because of what she's so focused on and she's so work-oriented, it makes her very self-centered, and there's a lot to say about her relationship with Warren and how he completely is just the opposite of everything she is.
But she's come to New York because after she graduated from college, things didn't
Right.
quite work out the way they wanted to, so she's run to the city
Yeah.
going, this is going to fix everything.
Yeah, it's like the American dream. Like, go to New York, you're gonna be successful.
And then she loses her thesis.
It's gone.
Gone,
That's a plot driver.
right?
Yeah.
To bring all these people together in some magical way in New York City. And then we get to Warren.
Yes.
I liked you a lot. Let me tell you how much I loved you, because you're just out here, and I'm going, we've seen this person on the street corner,
Yes.
passing out stuff, and we all have walked by them. And we've all been to New York going,
They ignored
oh,
us.
you see them, and you're like, don't make eye contact, walk by, no, I don't need to, no. And they're passing stuff out, but you're going, but he's likable. And then we hear your backstory about, you work for this artist, which sounds great, and you just house sit his cat. And they were kind of like, well, okay, kind of sad,
Sad.
kind of sad. But tell us more about Warren. What's his backstory?
Warren to me is someone who very much just lives in the moment. He doesn't take anything for granted. He is just kind of attention to detail. I'm going to live life to the fullest, but to a point that almost makes him very easily get turned away, get hurt, so that he's built up this tolerance to it, that he always portrays just this happy character that loves life, that nothing can affect him, nothing can hurt him. And then he finally has someone like Deb, through this odd play of circumstances, starts to show some interest in his life. And it kind of comes to the pinnacle at the end where he starts to show how unstable he is, and kind of almost switches places with her, because she's confiding in him. So you kind of see that you can't really judge a book by its cover. That there's a lot more to Warren than just this happy, I'm going to hand out these flyers, everything's great, I love life, I love New York City, and you see kind of, once you start to get to know someone, it just plays out a whole lot more as to who they are and what makes them tick, and what really causes them to be able to thrive. And so I've had a blast playing his character.
One of the things I noticed about Warren was he has this bag, and he carries around like discarded letters and photos, and he's carrying that. I'm going, what's the deal with that with Warren? Why does he collect all these other people's stories and memories? He doesn't have any on his own, or is he just trying to save them? What's the deal with that?
A lot of it is, yes, he doesn't think that his story is important to anyone because they've never showed interest. There's some that's always just kind of passed by, ignored, not today, thanks, you know. And so he sees these little pieces and he's like, wow, look at how incredible just this little artifact to them, and why would they leave this behind? Why would they drop this? This is a treasure. And so being able to see these, he's able to look into, by reading Deb's diary, he's able to say, wow, I see how this girl works. I see what her characteristic is like, and that's why he's like, we're going to be great friends.
He just makes that connection.
But you know, I think that Warren's character is very relatable, and I think he is using other people's mementos or stories or pictures to kind of fulfill that within himself. I mean, he has a great song, sort of fairy tale. And he's imagining in his head meeting Deb at the Met Museum and having this amazing moment and having a human connection with someone, because he found her notes and it's going to be wonderful.
She's going to get it back.
She's like, give me the notebook. And so, you know, I think he is trying to live vicariously through others, but he wants to find these sort of special moments of human interaction. That makes sense.
And these four unrelated people do interact more than they realize, because Deb runs into Warren on the street, then Deb runs into you guys at the museum because she's trying to find this painting in room 21. And if you have been to the Met, yes, it's completely
A nightmare.
We have all gotten lost in there and going, what a great painting, I don't know where I am. And the Louvre and several other places, but that's another story. But I enjoyed the fact that he's looking at Monet, and it's all these little dots. It takes all of those images, and these people are all specks within New York, because New York is just vast, but they're all interconnected. And the life story part was one of the things I circled in my notes was, what are these characters' life stories? What is their big picture? Deb's big picture was her thesis, wants to get married, trying to move from the past, wants to have a life, or find a life. I feel like I'm doing Wizard of Oz here. Like, oh, man, okay. I might have put something up there. Okay. But ultimately, do you think they've created their own fairy tale in their head about what their life's going to be coming to New York City?
Oh, definitely. And I think Claire's, she had the fairy tale and then things happened.
Spoiler.
Spoiler alert. She had the fairy tale and then things didn't go as planned at all in a dreadful way.
But she has another fairy tale in front of her, and she's scared.
Like, give me some meaning.
I'm getting there. But yeah, you're right. She does have another fairy tale in front of her because she's having trouble letting go of the other fairy tale. She can't see it yet.
Okay, one of the lines that I wrote down that I really thought was very, very great and sums up this whole thing, because everyone gets hung up on celebrity. Oh, so-and-so got to New York and they made it big, and look, so-and-so went to LA and they made it big, and here's this great museum full of all these great paintings and stuff, and here's this famous king, and there's this famous whatever, and here's this nice little still life, this ordinary moment. And the line, and I might have gotten it wrong, but for beauty to happen, beauty has to be seen. Did I get it right?
For beautiful.
For beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I was close. I was close. I get a B+ on that. How do your characters embody that? How do they come to that truth? How do you see them resolving all that?
What do you think, Deb?
As I look at Deb, going, go ahead.
I've been thinking about this a lot just as we've been doing the run, because I didn't quite get it at first, but when, should I spoil? I don't know. There's a part where
No
Deb,
spoilers, but
there's a part where
tell
Deb and Warner are in the museum, and I think that she tries very hard to see the beauty in physical things and in images, but her real challenge is to see the beauty in other people. And I think that that's what has to happen between her and Warren.
That's your love story. What do you think?
I think with Claire, it goes back to, having that fairy tale right in front of her, and she's having trouble seeing through the fog of the past. So trying to, for that beautiful to happen, and she has to be willing to see it. And so that's,
Yeah, and I think Jason, legitimately does not like anything about the city. I sing a whole song basically saying, the angry cars, the crowded streets, and I'm only doing that because of some person. I'm sticking around for one person. And I think that that's his way to beautiful, is, God, I just want to be with this woman, and then my life is beautiful because she's the one thing that completes me.
Because you have this ordinary moment that Warren makes happen. Because we kind of discovered that there is more to Warren. He's just really not seen that.
Yep.
This could be a spoiler, so just hang tight. Don't leave it all the way. Come see the show. But he's been carrying these other things around. He's been making these flyers and stuff.
Warren is someone who sees the beautiful in everyone, but I think finding the beautiful for Warren is more taking out this made-up beautiful of everyone and finding the beautiful in himself.
Yeah, well said.
Now, who here has been to the Met? Anyone here actually been?
I hate it.
You got lost. You got lost.
You go straight to where you want to go, and that's all.
and then, you do like one section, maybe two at a time.
What's your favorite section? Like, what was your favorite section? It's like, oh, that's a hard question. Damn it,
No, it's really not. Strangely, it's the medieval art.
Okay.
This says to skip this room.
No,
What I think was clever about Adam Gwon, who wrote this piece, is there's a backstory.
Yeah.
And I don't want to steal your thunder of sharing it, but Adam Gwon wrote one song called I'll Be Here, and it's in the show. And he entered that song into a song competition, for lack of a better word. And that song was chosen out of all the songs submitted. And so I think he was given some money or some sort of financial recompense to do other things. And he took that one song and constructed the whole show around that. And I think that is, I can only imagine that's incredibly hard to do, but he ties things up really nicely. And the references, what's great about the lyrics of the songs are they tell the story. The whole two scenes take place in the Met Museum. You're in New York, right? We're walking down 15th Street. Gristedes is mentioned. So there are lots of New York references that I think keep you feeling
those very New York moments, like
Yeah.
you take a cab ride, the
Cab.
subway, you have a bagel, all these things, but
Yeah.
you tend to overlook when you live in those cities.
Yeah.
You're like, well, when's the last time you actually went to the Met Museum? When was the last time? And I think that song, You Are Here, speaks about, you've got maps and directions, and these people are almost kind of directionless. And at a point, they're kind of lost in their own museum.
Yeah.
Sure.
what do you want an audience to take away from this show, from the director's point of view? What do you want them to leave with?
Honestly, for beautiful to happen, the beautiful is have to be seen. And I wrote that in my director's note. And honestly, that stuck with me, and it will always. Because we're in this society that's so quick-paced and blah blah blah. You know where I'm going with this, but it's
like these
so
sound bites and things
cliche.
and quick,
Yeah. And even with theater, I'm gonna go on that page. Everything is like so technological. But here we have this simple piece. Well, not musically.
It's like my fingers are bleeding.
Sorry, but yeah, so just I want them to take away. Don't forget about your relationships you have, and look at the person you love every day and say I love you, and just don't let that go. I guess.
As the cast and the music point of view, what's their favorite song?
We had this conversation in rehearsal once, and I don't think we came to any exciting conclusions.
No.
But maybe we can try again.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song?
Okay.
Ever?
It's weird, it changes. So
Yeah.
for me, my favorite song is not one that I actually sing.
Okay.
One of my favorite song, the duo is the Dear Professor Thompson.
Really?
It's that Dear Professor Thompson with life story ending with Professor Thompson, and I just think that is so incredibly clever, and I just like you're interspersed with someone who's so frenetic, with someone who is so at peace, and the music sets this up. I just like that scene, and so maybe that's why I like the music. But that's mine. You.
Me. Well, selfishly speaking, I really, really, really love the song "I'll Be Here." I love singing it. I love hearing it the first time. So that one, it breaks my heart every single time I sing it.
It's beautiful. I mean,
Thanks.
really.
It's
Thank you very much. But I think actually Life Story Reprise, I think is my favorite one.
Yeah, for me, I was actually just thinking about the first time in rehearsal when we talked about our favorite songs, and my original favorite was Rooftop Duet because it's just gorgeous and
Yeah.
harmony is all up in here. My real actual favorite, now that we've like done the show and sung it, is Beautiful.
Nice.
And
Okay.
just because it's beautiful, everything about it, the words.
What's your favorite song of the whole thing?
Honestly, I've got a big part, and there's not, usually with musical soundtracks, there's always one track you skip in the car
Yeah.
when driving. I have grown to love this piece so much that there's not one I skip. However, if I really had to choose, before I'll Be Here, the song that she sings, there is a sequence that occurs both on a rooftop and on the street. And the music in that section has a lot of really interesting and new ideas as far as music theater goes. And we were talking about how bare bones, as far as all the accoutrements of musical theater and everything, this is really stripped down to a core where only the things that are important in musicals are here. There's no fluff.
Right.
It's good storytelling with music and grand words, and that particular part of the show, it's called the Rooftop Duet. It has so many new ideas that are so easy to see because this show is not a lot of fluff.
Because it really flows from one conversation to this next moment, to this other moment, then you realize they're all happening at once.
Yeah. No diversion.
But we're not
Yeah.
distracted by a set
Yeah.
change or something flying in, or a stage rising and smoke and a chandelier falling.
Yeah, we don't know
I
that.
want that.
I had to say, one of my favorite was Saturday at the Met.
It's fun.
It's fun, I like it, but it also brought back memories of going to the Met with my own family or going to museums. You go through, and there is that moment when people kind of split off. You say you're going to stay together, and you go to what you like, and you go to what you like, and then at some point you won't meet back up because you have those intimate moments. That's one of my favorites. As a director, what's your favorite?
Oh God, I was not ready.
These are your choices.
Yeah. God.
All of it?
I'm gonna have to say Rooftop Duet.
Okay.
Definitely. It's just the moment, they all come together, they're all there at one time. These people that don't even know each other, but they're affecting the reason why Claire calls Jason to marry.
Spoiler.
Oh my God!
It was a
Oh my gosh!
more so just because I love the vulnerability that's shown in that first part, especially with Deb and Warren. Because I know that for me personally, like the sweetest times that I have with my personal friends and with those that really knit us together as not just people but as like true friends is when you have those moments of vulnerability and someone really confides in you or something opens up that shows you a deeper perspective into who they are as a person, and being able to connect at that level is something that I cherish, being able to have those moments. Those really are the beautiful moments in life for me. So I really love what we're talking about.
The consensus is rooftop duet.
That's the majority.
Yeah.
And it's a fantastic piece.
I don't know if you're going to get to this, Eric, but the thing, I'm just going to go.
It's a free-flowing thing. So.
No, well, I wanted to call out, and it'll now be marked forever on film or whatever, digital chip. But I kind of came into this, I did not know Gracie or Annie or Andrew or Chandler, didn't know Ben at all, didn't know Robin. And I was like, what is Full Circle Theater? I know they did something last year, and I know it's, a new group. But here's what I liked about this, is this group, Full Circle Theater Project, is similar to, say, a theater lab, another kind of program, or Stage B, where it allows younger folks who are interested in theater to do things. Gracie is 19, and she was our director. Chandler, stage managing at 17, and Annie and Andrew all kind of came together and are running this and doing a very professional way. And so then bringing in Tyler and Jeff, younger folks, and you kind of got Robin, myself, and Ben to kind of be mentors and help out. The whole experience, that's what I'm trying to say is, there's a lot to be said, I think, about the youth in theater now. And these sorts of things need to be cherished and enjoyed. And beyond it just being an amazing organization with great people, this is one of the most professional productions I have ever done. There's been no drama. There was always clear direction on what to do. I didn't see drama. We got lots of feedback. The director was willing to hear what we had to say and said, okay, that works. And it was a safe, comfortable environment because we were all learning as we went through it. And I can't say enough about the mission of this organization and of just the future, because I think that this needs to stay in Richmond. It's going to help people continue to grow and get the experience I think they need to do whatever they may want to do in their own professional life.
And one of the things about this whole series is showing the great talent we have in Richmond.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to other cities, go to New York or LA, even though they're nice. You can stay here and see these fantastically talented people in these great productions right here in Richmond. So,
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, thank
you guys have got an amazing production. Now, if people want to find out more about the run of the show, how long does it run, how do they get tickets?
You can go to
Andrew,
How do they get tickets?
Andrew, the spokesperson.
You can go to www.fullcircletheaterproject.org, and theater is spelled R-E, not E-R. And all the information about everything we're doing, the show, the run, tickets, everything.
One more weekend!
One more weekend! All of that is on that website, and a lot of other stuff about us and Full Circle.
Is there another production Full Circle's doing later this season, anything like that?
You'll hear about it soon.
Okay.
We're all in school right now.
Okay.
So, Gracie's in school in New York. I go to school in Newport News. Andrew is here in Richmond. But
Okay.
I think it's safe to say there will be another Full Circle
I sure hope
theater.
so.
There will
Yes.
be. But we're thinking about possibly expanding. Originally, it's just summer,
Okay.
but we're
Actually, it's
we're-
just a revival.
we're-
It's the same show.
We've actually seen it.
Tour for the next 40 years. Right?
Yeah.
See how that does it for us.
But we're definitely talking about the possible opportunities that we could take advantage of, even with not all of us here.
Okay.
And collaborating with the other young theater
Yeah, with
stage
and Theater Lab. Just a lot of stuff is in the works, and we're really excited about it.
Well, this was a fantastic experience.
Thank
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me here.
Thanks for
I
coming.
got to see something that I may not have known about, so really, really thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm Eric Russell. I have been out and about with the cast of Ordinary Days with the Full Circle Theater Company here at Spark. You never know where I'll turn up next, so tune in next time. See ya.
Come see ya.